Hello and welcome. This is Ruth, and today I've got 4 beautiful brand new die sets from Tonic Studios, and collectively they're called the Celebration frames. So you'll see here that there's a large set here with 6 dies in it, and they're tags with insides, different outside edges and then insides. And then we've got 3 here which are rectangles with different elements inside there. This is a dashed line around that one, and this is a scalloped one. And you may remember back to just a little while before Christmas, we had the festive frames, and this is a kind of variation on that. So there are the tags, and from the festive frames, they're Christmas ones with ho 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 and best wishes and whatnot. And you can actually use the outlines of these dies because they do fit over the top of those, so you can interchange them if you want. And the same goes with the rectangles here. So we've got the scalloped one, as I said, and these have outside edges, so you can use those as a little rectangle just on its own or interchange with any of these. On a very quick look at them then, the first one here is the big set with the 3 tags in it, and this is the Party Time Tags Celebration Sentiments, and there are 6 dies there. So we've got the outside edges and the insides for 3 of them, and so we've got birthday wishes, yay, hooray, and it's your day. And all of those actually sound quite good together, but I suppose you'd never get them all onto one card. Anyhow, I should say before I go any further that I would really love you to subscribe to my channel. Now, I have been asked by a few people just to mention that that's free. It doesn't actually cost you anything. In case you think you've got to pay for it, it's free, but it helps me. So I would really appreciate it if you do that and hit the notification bell, and that way you'll keep up to date with all of these videos and you'll not miss any of them as they come along. And if you are enjoying it, don't forget to give a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment, and down below you'll find my affiliate links to everything I've used. So right back to the die sets. That's the first 3 there, and then we've got the other 3 in 3 separate packets. This one then is the one we've just looked at with the happy birthday, and there's 2 in each of these. Make a wish, and that's got beautiful little candles, and this one here has sort of buntings and stars and bits and pieces on it like that. So you will notice when you look at these that you can cut them into the card. You can use the outside die with it and cut it out of the card, but every one of them has, in the same way that the festive frames had actually, the letters all cut out separately. So you will be left, when you die cut them, with a bundle of the letters, which you can then interchange. You can use the letters on their own for something else if you want. You know, you can say different things with all of those letters. Just cut them all out and see what you can come up with. And I'm going to make some things with them first of all, but I just wanted to say that I really love these because you kind of get a 2 for 1, because if you're going to cut out one of these and then you want to add a little bit into the background, you're better actually cutting out 2 together, and that way if you want to start off with, say, this one, and then you're going to paper piece those letters in, you may as well cut the whole frame out, take the letters out and use that to put back in here again. But it means that you've also got this one, and then you've also got the little letters that came with that one as well. I think I've got those in a little Chinese container there too. So that's what I really love about something like this, because you can make quick cards with them, and you're not only cutting out for 1, but you're cutting out for 2 at the same time. So you can see there that on this one I've already used the background die, which is this one, and I've cut that out in white, and then I've used this one along with this one, and I've cut it out in some beautiful pink chiffon card there, and I've also cut it out in some, I think that's sherbet lemon glitter card. And I'm going to glue, let's see, start with this one. I'm going to glue this directly on top of here, and then I'm going to paper piece the letters from the first colour back into that one again. After I had paper pieced the letters back into both of those, I took some buttermilk yellow card, some sherbet lemon and some candy floss glitter card, and just recut that again. And I've now got lots and lots of pieces, as you can see, to make more cards. I'm not going to use them at the moment, but that's always handy because you can come back to that whenever you need it and just lift those out and they're ready cut. But I'm going to go ahead now. I have 2 panels, and I have just taken an A6 card here and put a panel of the sherbet lemon on top of it, and then I'm going to go with this one on here, and it would look nice just straight across, but I think I'll just put it at an angle there. And rather than using a tape or whatever on there, you do need to definitely put glue on, and even a little extra, because it's going on to a kind of textured surface. So just make sure you add plenty and you're good to go, and that's your card made. Now normally I wouldn't put a full layer of glitter card or mirror card. I would try to, what's the word, gut that and take a little bit out of it just to hold on to it for another card, but it really needs it in behind this time, because you couldn't really, it wouldn't really be worth my while cutting that out. Just make sure the card's the right way up before I glue this down, and there you have it. The other benefit with the glue is that you can sort of eyeball that and see if you've got it in the right place, sort of definitely centered okay, and slide it about just a little until it is in the right place. So if you're enjoying this, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Now I've got my other panel here, and I've just gone back to 2 dies from the, actually I think maybe 2 dies from the Remember When We Danced memory book die set. So if you remember back when I made that die set up into the book and the box and all the rest of it, I made a lovely easel card. Now it was a bit bigger, but this time I'm using this die, which you can see is actually one of the page dies, but I've just trimmed it off, see, from that little mark down to that one, and I've cut that out twice. And then I've cut myself a panel with the candy floss card as well. It's really beautiful card, that, and that's in the smaller one with the little dotted edge. It actually just fits just inside there. So to make the card up then, I have just cut 2 of these, as I said, and then on the back one I've scored down here, and that then will be how the book will be the card will be attached. And then, because it wouldn't necessarily stand up really well having sort of the point there, it would want to go to the side, I have just taken this one, lined this up in my trimmer, in my guillotine, and taken off a tiny little sliver. Now it's very small. That's all I took off, but that's enough whenever this piece here, and it's directly parallel to these lines here, so you'll be able to set that in and line these up with the sort of guidelines in your trimmer and take that off parallel. And then whenever I glue this strip onto this card, I've actually got a card then that stands, because just that little piece is enough when the card's open to hold it in place. So once I glue that together, I'm going to pop this on, and then this on, and I think at a little angle again, a little jaunty angle. So the happy birthday sentiment was in the landscape orientation, and now I want to use one in the portrait orientation. Actually both of the others are, so I've picked out Let's Party, and I thought I'd go with a 7x7 card this time. You could obviously make this smaller if you want. You could cut it down and just have like a 5x7 card, but I've taken a 7x7 and I have marked down 9 centimeters from this side and this side on the front, and then I have just cut down here and across here with a craft knife. So now I've got a card which has a sort of a flap down at the bottom and the top half missing, or the top, certainly the top part of the card missing. And then I took another piece of card here, and this one measures, I actually just need to check this again. I did this a little while ago and then I went off to something else. So it's 10 centimeters wide by 27, and I have scored that in half, so we've got 13.5 on each fold here. And what I'm going to do is glue the back of that inside there, sort of centrally on the card, and then whenever that's glued down, this will come over here. So obviously this time then it's much nicer if you decorate the inside of the card as well as this part and then we can put the little Let's Party sentiment on the top there. And I've already gone ahead and cut the outside edge of that, and look at the lovely little die this time. Isn't that lovely, with the little dashed sort of line around it? It comes out really, really nice there. I hope you can see that. So anyhow, I want to add a panel on here because I want to decorate that. I want the inside of it coloured, and I have to cut a piece of just ordinary classic card, and that is slightly smaller than the 7 inches wide and square. And now I'm going to put some adhesive backing on it. So I've got one of these adhesive sheets, and this is one of the Tonic Craft Perfect ones, and I'm just going to peel the backing off one edge here and lay that on top. I've trimmed that off then, trimmed the adhesive backing off so that it's exactly the same size as the card underneath, and now I've got that backed with this sticky the whole way across there. I've cut out some strips of card, and this is Petal Pink Iridescent Mirror card, and you can see the real, well, it's sort of mirroring all sorts of colours there. And then I've got Berry Fizz glitter card, that's a really, really lovely purple, and then Luna Silver pearlized card. So I've sort of kept the colours that will tone in, but I like very different sort of textures or finishes off the card. And now I'm going to just place these sort of randomly across the card. Let's see, I'll be able to just more or less diagonally, not perfectly I'm sure, but I'm just going to go ahead and lay these on. Now I'm sort of keeping them 1, 2, 3 that kind of way, and then I'll be able to trim these pieces off and add them further on, and we'll just work our way down the card like that. Well, it's all coloured and covered, and I'm just going to turn it over. I've already nipped some of the pieces off because I was able to use those to fill in some of the gaps in the pieces that I needed shorter areas for. So I'm just going to put it into my guillotine now and trim off all these edges. And I want to use the guillotine rather than scissors because that means I'll get a really good crisp edge in that as well. Then I'm going to just take the little panel that goes across the front of the card. I've cut a piece for across here, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing, and then I'll glue one on here and one on here. I've cut the Let's Party out, and I've done that with the outside die and the inner one, and then I'm going to just back that straight onto there. That will go onto there, this will go in here, and then I will start to paper piece all those pieces back in again. And isn't that really sparkly? Whenever I was making this one and I saw this piece here, I thought that would make a really nice just standalone card. So I cut a folded top fold card out like that, and I actually meant to make the Make-A-Wish one, but I cut out the Let's Party once again, and so I just went ahead with it. And I've actually filled this top part in here with some crystal drops, and I'm going to do the stars with some glitter drops, and that's just another way of doing that. You don't actually have to paper piece it, you could fill it in with glitter drops or just any kind of drops you have that would do. So I am going to go ahead with this and then put some into those areas, and the little outline there just holds them nice and neat. I left that one to dry, and I've been out and back home again, so some of the drops settled down into the little grooves, and that's naturally what happens. So if any of them are just too low, you can top them up again, and you can see there I've added just a little bit onto the P and the A, and one down here as well. And I'm just going to set that aside again and let it dry. But I'm going to move on to something else now while I'm doing that as well. So I wanted to make a little shaker card, and as you can see, I've gone ahead with the Make-A-Wish die set. And instead of using the outside one with it this time, I gave it a little border right around, so it's probably about 1.5 centimeters right round there, and I only cut the pattern die into that and didn't use the outside one because it would have cut it very, very narrow, and then I wouldn't have had any room to put the 3D foam pads on. So when I die cut that and cut this area out around it, then I put construction weight or heavyweight acetate directly on top of the back of the card, and you can probably see in there, I always like to glue that. I know you can use tape or red liner tape or whatever, but I actually do prefer glue. And then I've added 3D foam pads around here. I suppose I should get myself some foam tape, but I just have 3D foam pads and I always just use them and that's it. But anyway, I've got this little bag, and this is one of those little anti-static bags that you would put rub over your card before you sort of heat emboss it, and it saves getting marks and bits in there and areas where you don't have the embossing taken properly. If you put it in there, it actually stops the glitter or the sequins or whatever you're putting inside here. It stops it sticking to the glue on the side of those little foam pads, and more times than enough I forget to do that. But anyway, right now I've remembered, and I've got some diffused violet card here, and that's pearlescent, and I found some water lily pink sequins, but obviously you can use just whatever you have, and I'm going to tap those in there. Now it's going to take a right lot of those to fill this card, because that's quite an area there. Let's see, it's hard to see actually when you put them in, but no, I'll just go for some more. The more the merrier in this case. There we are. And I'm just going to pop this straight down. I've already taken the backing off that, so I'm just going to pop that directly on top like that. Oh, it is lovely, isn't it? I always love a shaker card. Right, now what I'm going to do is take some of the pink petal card. I think it's pink petal we call it. That's this one again, the iridescent mirror card. And I'm going to die cut these letters and put them back in on top of that. Well, I've gone ahead a little bit with this one, actually a big bit, because I've actually finished the card, but I hadn't actually even noticed that I had probably caught this in the die cutting machine. I think what happened was I lifted it out and put it back through again and didn't realise that I had overcut this piece and the top was off it. So all I did was nip it off there with a craft knife, as you can possibly see if you look really, really closely, and I die cut another one and just set it on top. And then I have put this, I've actually made this lovely little frame because the outer die of that one comes from kit number 51, which is called Sweetheart Bouquets, I think that, yeah, Sweetheart Bouquets. So the outer frame is with that, and then the inner part was just from the actual die from this set, and I made that frame with that and glued it on top of the piece of wider card here after I'd made that up. And then I used the same iridescent mirror card to glue it, or to glue into all these tops of the little candles. I've got the letters in here, and then I took some little strips and put them inside some of the candles as well, and obviously I tied this in with this just to bring it all together. And then I was going to go ahead and make something really different or fancy with that one, but I just thought it would be really nice to make more quick cards this time. But don't forget, do go back and check the other video that I was talking about, because you'll get other ideas. These are sort of interchangeable with the festive frame collection as well, so do check out that video, because you can use the bits and pieces from this to do the same thing. Well, just because I had the Wishing You Love frame maker die set on my desk, I've been using it recently, I took this part and I have made myself a little box. Oh, I better lift this out just to show you. So I made the base with the base from the box here, and then I cut this frame because it's exactly the same sort of orientation of a, is it orientation of a die? Well, no, but the rectangle fits into this one perfectly. So I put the Make-A-Wish into the outer lid part before I die cut it, and then I glued all that up together. So it's really just this die, whoops, with this one set into the middle like that, and then that made the lid. And I really just cut out a piece of gold iridescent mirror card and glued it to the inside and tried to catch all those little bits. And now I've got a little box that I could go ahead and make a little card in the same way as I've made this one, because that would fit perfectly inside there. That would be lovely in there. But what I did was I took the little tag dies. So we've got birthday wishes and yay hoo hooray and it's your birthday, and I've cut those out and just made little tags with them. So I actually was going to go ahead and put these on cards the way I've done before, you know, make a card and layer it up and put this on. But I thought this little box would just make a lovely little gift box, or a little box to store some of these little tags inside. So I just made one of each, and there again you can see I've cut out the birthday wishes, and instead of popping the little white pieces in here, I've gone ahead just with glitter drops, and I've put glitter drops in here and here as well, but inside those little letters that had the little fallout pieces that you actually do need back in again. So we've got birthday wishes there, I've got it's your day here, and I popped the pieces back in there just to show you. And then I've got to be really careful with this one, and I haven't even got the ribbon in it yet, but I cut out the yay hoo hooray. No, yay hooray, that's what it is. Oh, I've just been so busy with that I haven't stopped to read it properly. So it's yay hooray. And I cut that out in the glitter card. I glued it onto the plain base behind here, and then I took some glitter drops as well on there, and I have just put them inside the balloons there. See, it's still wet, so I've got to be really, really careful. And then I have put some blue in here as well. And now that will be a little box that I could put either a gift in or some tags, or I could even have just made a little birthday card and popped it in there, but I need to be really careful with that. So that's all I'm going to make with that set, but that's quite a lot there, and I've got loads and loads of letters left over here, lots of bits and pieces. And if you do go back to see that other video, you'll see how I used up a lot of the spare letters, not only just for making words, but for making sort of faux embossed backgrounds as well. Just gluing those letters onto card and then using it as the background of the card. So we've got all of these ready now, and I hope you've enjoyed that. So that's that big one again, and then the shaker, the little top fold, and I think these might be my favourite of the lot. And then we've got the little box and the little tags. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment and let me know what you liked. And my affiliate links for all of this will be down below in the description of the video. And if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do that. As I said at the start, it doesn't cost anything, it's free, but it just keeps you up to date, especially if you hit the notification bell as well. You'll not miss any of the videos as they come along. Thank you so much, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye bye.